Hey, this is Kylie. Just want to quickly go through using regex with Sublime Text. I recently had to parse a bunch of data from HTML files to make lists, but I didn't want to use a script or anything like that. I just needed something quick and dirty, and regex worked out great. So I'm primarily going to be looking at the look ahead and look behind features of regex. So here, let's kind of have a look at what that does. So I'm just going to quickly make some tags here to help with my example. Here, let's see here, we want these in line. So, and then we'll just put some text in here that we want to select and want that. Okay, so to use regex in Sublime Text, first you bring up your search window. You can get that on, I'm using a Linux machine, so I just push Control F. And here you can toggle on and off the regex, and you can also, this also shows you kind of what's going to be selected. So I'm going to turn on the regex, and as I type stuff in, since I have this little thing selected here, it'll start showing me what's selected in the window. So I want to select everything between the div tags. So I'm going to say, I'm going to use the Lookbehind feature, and I just say this, and then I put in div, and what that says is that I'm looking for something that has div at the front, but I don't want to select that. Alright, so I'm going to say I want to select everything in between that. So I use the dot to say everything. I use the asterisk to say any amount of that everything, and the question mark says that it could have it or it could not, which probably won't be necessary. So here, let's just use it without that. So question mark, and now we want to say that we want to have a closing div tag at the end. Okay, so let me show you with a more complex example what this would look like. Okay, so this is kind of an example of some stuff I was trying to parse. Not this exactly, but this is kind of what it would look like. So first of all, what I did is I selected all the stuff I didn't want, which is a whole lot of this. I really just want what's between line 856 and, let's see here, 980. So we'll go to 856 and we'll select everything above, and to do that you just push Control Shift Home, and then we'll select everything above there, and we're just going to delete that. And we'll go to our second marker, and we'll go Control Shift End, and that'll select everything below that. Alright, so now we have a much smaller problem to take care of. Okay, so now I want only the list tags with links in between them. So I'm going to slowly just piece away at this. Not slowly, just quickly just hack it away to something that's really simple. Instead of coming up with really long regex selecting patterns, I'm just going to have smaller selecting patterns. So here, let's look here. So I want something that, so just look at what we have. I want something that begins with a list tag. So I use the upward caret just to denote that I want it to begin with that. And let's see here. And then I want it to have a link on the inside. And I'm going to say I just want everything that comes after that. And that ends with a new line. How about that? So there's our look ahead selector right here. Okay, so now let's go find all. Alright, and we're just going to cut this out. We're going to select everything, so I push Control A and then delete, so that got rid of just everything else. And then I'm just going to paste back what I had copied out before, or what I cut out. Okay, so now we just have only lists, tags with links in between them. Okay, so now I just want to select this last little portion right here, the actual text that's between those list tags. So that's really simple, and computer's kind of dragging here. All right, so Sublime Text is really convenient for this because it kind of shows you what's being selected here. So it's kind of as I go, I can see if what I'm doing is working. So we're going to go, again, we're going to do the look behind. And we're going to say that I just want this, anything that comes after a quotation and a left-facing square bracket. So that's what everything we're looking for is between that, and it's just going to be some text. So we're just going to use the period to say anything, and then any amount of that anything, and it's going to come before this this closing link tag. Okay, so that looks like it's selecting what we want. So we're just going to go find all. Again, we'll just cut it all out of there. We'll select everything with Control A, press delete, and Control V, and so now we have all of our items. And this may be what you need for whatever you're using your lists for. Maybe you want it all new line separated, which is great for like pumping stuff in the terminal into a program. You know, because it'll clear out the buffer every time it hits that new line. Or you may want comma separated or space separated. So to select that final new line, all you gotta do is pull up your search window again and just put a new line \n and go find all, and you could either separate them with a space. Now they're all space separated. Or you just make them comma separated. And there you go. You got a nice, clean, sterile list from a big nasty HTML file. All right, thanks again. It's Kylie. If you want to look at more of my tutorials, you can check me out at kyliev.com.